everybody. Welcome to Sub-Auteurs. I'm Mai.
I'm Misha.
And I'm Anjo.
Happy Halloween!
What? That's Misha's natural laugh.
Yes. And I think that's the kind of laugh Misha let out while watching some of the movies we're going to be talking about today. So basically, we're talking about horror movies that made us scream for the wrong reasons. Yes, exactly. So yeah, it's going to be just a mishmash of some of memorable movies that just did not make us scream because of horror.
Mishmash. Later, we'll get to it.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Sorry,
Yes.
I got excited.
So I saw this meme on Facebook or Twitter or wherever that says horror movie fans have to sit through so many shitty movies before they get to a good one. So I guess we'll be talking about some of the shit that you have to go through before you get to an actual decent horror movie. Because there's no shortage of bad horror movies
That's
out there.
actually very, very true.
Yeah.
Very true. I mean, can't even remember the last good one I saw.
I think Ari Aster just gave the last batch of good ones for me personally, seeing them.
Yeah. I would say the same thing.
Listen to our Ari Aster episode somewhere in this podcast.
Oh, nice segue. Look at that.
I think we also did we do that for Halloween? I think
Possibly?
Did we?
I don't remember.
But happy Halloween either way.
A prize to whoever lets us know what the hell we recorded last year in the comments.
I don't remember.
I remember, I think we did it on Halloween.
Yeah.
Or Halloween season just because of the jump scare. Jump scare for that episode.
Oh yeah, you got freaked out that.
Well, basically, everyone likes to put out their best horror movies, their favorite jump scares and all that stuff. So we thought we'd do something like a little bit different this year.
Mm-hmm. Like instead of going for really good horror movies, like there are some that are just genuinely so fun for the wrong reasons. So who wants to start?
Creature features are also part of the horror movie genre, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
For sure.
So I'm gonna start out with Jaws.
Oh,
The first one was
yes.
great.
The
The
first
second
one
one
was
was okay. And then you get to Jaws 3D. Like Jaws 3D, you would know that it's already a gimmick. Because back in the 70s, they had these 3D cinemas, right? So they probably exploited all of these things back then. And it was just so bad. It starred a very young Dennis Quaid and a very young Frances McDormand.
They are babies in this movie.
Yeah. I did not know it was Frances McDormand until I saw the clip. I was like, holy shit, it's Frances McDormand. I couldn't believe she did this movie. Okay, so this is just a dumb story where the baby shark...
Baby shark.
do, 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 do.
No!
Which is a horror in itself,
Yes,
especially
yes.
for Anjo,
It
who's
is
probably
scarier than
heard
anything
it
in this movie.
for a million times.
No singing in this movie. So apparently they built an underground theme... an underwater theme park.
Wait, at SeaWorld.
At SeaWorld.
And it's really branded SeaWorld.
So they
This
had
is-
the rights to it.
They cooperated with the filmmakers.
Oh my
I
God.
don't
This
know
was
why.
way before Blackfish and all these... like.
No, but the
Yeah.
whole point of the movie is it gets Jurassic Parked.
That's true, before Jurassic Park. everything.
Right? So, like, why would you agree to this if you were SeaWorld?
So, quick synopsis of the movie. So, Baby Shark gets trapped inside.
Sorry, the visual.
Baby Shark.
I'm imagining a cartoon.
Baby Shark. Let it out. Get it out of your systems first. They build this park, this underwater park, theme park, where people can stay. And then Baby Shark. Baby Shark gets trapped during the construction. They try to nurse it back, but it dies. So Mama Shark finds out and takes revenge on the baby's death.
She gets very angry.
She gets very angry and starts killing people in the park, which is so stupid because you see shots of divers inside the mouth of a shark getting chewed up. No shark will swallow a whole person.
Yeah.
That's so weird. And you have all these like really terrible 3D effects happening, especially the last shot. The last shot was so bad. You see the jaws of the shark fly out after it explodes.
Oh my God, I have to show her. I really have to show her.
Yes.
It's just-
I need your unbiased opinion.
No, show her the mishmash diver first. The mishmash diver inside the shark.
Nah, I think this is good.
Yeah, let's do this. Okay. You've never seen this before,
Nope.
right?
It's just so bad.
I can't. That bad 3D shark. Oh my God. Oh yeah, Dennis Quaid is a baby.
And so is Frances McDormand.
And there's Academy Award winner Louis Gossett Jr.
Slow-mo screaming.
Wait for it. Wait, it gets better. It gets better.
It breaks through the glass.
I like how it pauses before it hits the glass.
Cinema.
It's just
Okay,
bad.
okay. I'm gonna skip ahead, right?
Okay.
So judging from these clips, you would know that. Imagine watching it at home.
Wait for it. I saw this on TV.
Same on HBO when there was no on demand.
It's like at some point they should have stopped making these movies.
And now, how do they have all their scuba gear ready all of a sudden?
Well, you build a theme park underwater.
Oh no!
Are you scared yet? Are you scared?
I'm terrified.
So can you imagine all
what
the...
What? There was a guy inside.
Yup.
They're trying to pull the pin. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
there
he's
we go.
sacrificing himself.
I
Oh,
had
no.
to point this out because this was the first Jaws movie that did not scare me. When I was a kid, I flat out refused swimming in the ocean because of Jaws. When I saw this, I was like,
Wait, we're almost. Wait for it.
Wait
Remember,
for it,
it's a
wait for
3D movie.
Blood and guts.
"Jeez."
There's your mic drop. It's the title.
Yeah, so 3D movies back then do not age well or do not translate well
No,
on video.
that did not.
So bad.
We will be linking this in our Facebook
Oh
group
my
for those of you
God.
who want to see.
So I've never seen Jaws: The Revenge.
That's even worse.
Have you seen it?
I've seen a Jaws of Revenge.
So I just hear,
So worse than this?
It's worse than
I've
this.
heard of the screaming shark or
Okay,
roaring
wait.
shark.
No. Okay, so in Jaws 4, the wife of the hero from the first two movies,
Roy
whose
Schneider.
son, his son is Dennis Quaid in this one, in Jaws 3.
Doesn't he die in the fourth one?
In Jaws 4, yes, but they recast him and he dies. And then the mom, she's so distraught. She goes halfway across the country. She goes to the Bahamas in her grief. And she hooks up with a charter pilot played by Michael Caine. And
Michael Caine.
the shark basically follows her all the way to the Bahamas because he wants revenge on this whole family.
So this shark has a bone to pick
Yes.
with the family.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Is this Daddy Shark?
the best part is when this shark takes on Michael Caine's airplane.
What?
You just have to see it. It's so bad. In fact, here's the best part. Michael Caine won the Academy Award that year, and he didn't go to the Oscars because he was shooting this piece of garbage.
Wait, I mean, like, doesn't he do movies for him and he does movies for cash?
That's right. And in his own words, he says, people have asked him, have you ever seen Jaws 4? Because you were in it. And he's like, I've never seen the film, but I've seen the house that the paycheck bought.
Yeah.
So, okay, I can respect that. Fine.
Respect to Michael Caine, legend. Who just recently retired from acting.
I know.
Jaws 4, though.
Jaws 4, The Revenge. Oh my God.
I'm kind of glad I stopped at the first Jaws, but then
No, the only good Jaws movie
Yeah.
is the
That is
first
true.
one.
so
And Roy Scheider kept trying to get out of doing sequels because he didn't believe in them, but he was contractually obligated. That's how he did part 2. And then part 3, he made himself unavailable by like booking another project.
Smart.
I'm like, no, I can't. I have something else. Okay, so
But-
we'll add that to the list, I guess, of stupid things to watch.
I don't know why they keep making horror sequels because like horror is like comedy. A lot of it, the effectiveness of it is comes from the unexpected.
Mhm.
Like you're not going to be scared by something if you see it coming a mile away, or if you're looking for it, or if you're anticipating it.
Which is why slasher films don't generally now don't scare a lot of people because everybody knows the jump scare is going to come at a certain point.
Right.
Unless it's a self-aware movie like Scream or which is the one with Ant-Man's daughter again, Catherine Newton.
Freaky.
Freaky.
There.
Yeah, they put a twist on it.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Because of all the tropes that we all know already, whether it's slasher movies or zombie movies or vampire movies, they're not scary anymore because you know exactly what's going to happen.
Except when they sparkle. That's pretty scary.
I did not see that coming.
But that was horrible for many other reasons.
I know it's not horror, but it was
Well,
horrific.
it was horrific.
You know what was the scariest thing in those fucking movies? That CGI baby.
Ah, yes. Yes, stuff of nightmares.
Oh my God,
Stuff
that
of
was so
nightmares.
bad.
So no, we're not adding Twilight to the list. It's not really a horror, but it is horrific.
It is horrific because, like, look at that thing. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I remember. I remember.
CGI baby. What the actual hell?
Even the name was horrific, Renesmee. Am I mistaken? I think Renesmee was the name of the baby.
Ask your wife.
that kid is going to get beaten up every day of its life when it goes to school.
Wait, no one can beat up a vampire.
Yeah, but with a name like Renesmee, they don't know that.
Well, that's true. That's
Fine.
true. That's true.
Anyway, bonus content. Twilight.
Okay.
Okay, Misha, go.
Shitty sequel. I'm going to give you The Ring 2, the American one.
Wait, The Ring
The Ring 1
The
was
American
already
one.
horrible.
The Ring 1 with Naomi Watts was bad.
I know what
Well,
you're
to be fair, there are people who are more scared by the American one. Surprisingly,
What?
but
by Samara?
yes, Samara.
No way.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, maybe, I don't know. It's
I
just
don't
their taste. I don't know. But
Or lack
obviously,
thereof?
But yeah.
I mean, like, the first one was directed by Gore Verbinski, so,
It wasn't-
he has some cred.
It wasn't bad, but considering
No, it was like if you see the original one,
maybe that's the case for some of the people who like this movie.
maybe. But here's the thing. For the second movie, they got... So I think like they listened to a lot of the audience criticism that said they were just doing shot for shot or they were doing an inferior version of the first Ring. So for the second one, they actually got the director of the Japanese original, Hideo Nakata, to direct this god-awful sequel, which had nothing to do with The Ring 2 that came out in Japan. And basically, the demon that possessed the videotape is now after Naomi Watts' kid and wants to possess the kid. So her brilliant plan is to drive halfway across the country because, you can outdrive a ghost.
Sure.
But the thing was that what made The Ring scary was like what made Jaws scary. Like it wasn't what it showed you, is what it didn't show you. It was there's this impending sense of doom. Because what I've noticed with jump scares is the more jump scares you get,
The more predictable it becomes.
and they're less effective as you go on.
because
You
you're
know?
expecting it half the time. Most of the time.
And I think that's what really differentiated like the Ring American movies from the Japanese originals. I'm not saying the Japanese sequels are any good, especially by the time they got to that one where it was Sadako versus the kid from The Grudge.
Oh my God. I actually wanted to see that just to see how it plays out.
It's kind of there's.
Have you seen it?
No, I'm gonna watch it now
I
because
think, yeah.
every time somebody mentions a showdown between these otherworldly creatures, I think of Freddy versus Jason.
Yeah, that's iconic. But like with the kid from The Grudge and Sadako, it's like
Ju-on and Sadako.
yeah, it's like versus what somebody all wet and
I know.
jumping from like TV feedback versus
Like white noise.
What the hell, guys? People are going to be listening to this.
Happy Halloween.
I don't know if it was a case of like maybe Nakata was like he just fell in love with all the Hollywood resources he suddenly had to make this movie versus whatever he had to work with in
either
Japan.
that or you had to cater to a different audience because obviously the Japanese one had the nuances of Japanese culture.
Right.
And then, you bastardize those movies by catering to a largely different market. So maybe somewhere in between those lines, something would get lost in translation. I don't know.
That's true, but it's okay because
It's the same way, you remember the Dragon Ball movie?
I try not to.
Oh my
That's-
God.
yeah.
I try not to.
Okay, so going back to horror, not really bad movies.
Although still horrific in my opinion.
But sometimes like look, these CGI deer. I think it's
CGI deer.
these CGI deer. It's like it's problematic. It's like what Jeff Goldblum said in the first Jurassic Park movie. Just because you could do a thing doesn't mean that you should. So in this case, hey, you know, it'd be scary if we have some deer attack a car. And I think that's the
dear.
same thing. No, that's the same thing that happened with I Am Legend, where they had these amazing prosthetics for the zombie characters and all that. And then, like, after a week of shooting, the director said, "What if we made them all CGI?" So now they all the monsters in that movie look like that sandstorm with Imhotep's face in it. That's what all the monsters look like in I Am Legend. They look like Imhotep from The Mummy.
Mm-hmm. So sad.
It's
We are lost for words.
like me.
With
I
a
was just
deer.
watching Misha's face. I thought he would say something. It's just,
No,
just like,
I got nothing.
It-
Pure
he-
disdain.
he had the
It's just funny because, like,
pained look in his
you,
face.
you got all this money, but good scares don't need elaborate setups. They
Yeah.
don't need, like, super animated realistic CGI. You
Mhm.
just need to have good pacing, good editing, good music cues, good sound design, and yeah, good performer. And you don't need to oversell it, honestly. A good scare without money, a perfect example of that would be, do you remember Lights Out, that movie?
yes.
Where when you turn the lights
Oh.
off, that's the only time the ghost has got powers, right?
Yep.
The movie was kind of okay, but it was just a series of jump scares.
Yeah.
If you watch the original
1 minute
short
short?
film that the director made of the same title, Lights Out, you can find it on YouTube. It is the scariest damn thing. But when they stretched it out to 90 minutes and they had a Hollywood budget behind it, it just wasn't effective anymore.
Mhm.
I think it was just. I think it was a problem of it was meant for as a short story.
Yeah.
Adding too much to it kind of ruined the effect of it.
Mhm.
And also, like, even sequences that they tried to adapt, like shot for shot, were not as effective.
Mm-mm.
Just because it looked too polished or it was too overproduced,
Overproduced is the right word.
right?
Mm.
Yes.
So jumping from your The Ring 2 US version, I'm gonna jump into another US remake that was so bad it had me cackling. It was The Eye with Jessica Alba. If you've seen it, well, it basically,
Oh, Jessica Alba's my girl.
but she's so bad here.
When
Okay,
was Jessica Alba good?
Dark Angel.
Oh, season 1.
Idle Hands.
Idle Hands.
Machete.
well,
Oh, that's a different
debatable.
Yeah.
Debatable.
Don't burst my bubble.
Okay.
A lot
Sorry.
of these movies are going to be bursting my bubble.
Fine.
But The Eye, not one of them.
Fantastic Four. She was fantastic. No.
No. I'm sorry.
That movie's bad.
Yeah. So basically, it's about this blind woman. She's a concert violinist. She's adjusted to life. Let's say being blind, she's happy, she's okay. But then, when she gets an eye transplant, and she's able to see.
Mhm.
But then, apparently, the woman who she got her eyes from, these eyes give her the supernatural power of seeing ghosts and, like, many other supernatural things. So it's a very good premise, to be honest. And the original was made back in 2002. It was actually a Hong Kong Singaporean horror film, which I guess did great. But then they decided to adapt it into American. And it's just so bad. Her acting was horrible. I'm so sorry, Jessica Alba. But what got me cackling was the intro. She's got this monologue at the start. Just like, I've been blind for so long, blah, blah, blah. And
If you start,
it starts off with the narration.
if you start off a horror movie with a narration or a voiceover, it's gonna be bad.
You know it's gonna be bad.
You're in for a ride.
Yeah, exactly. So she just talks about how she's okay with life, blah, blah, blah. And then it goes on. The opening sequence is her, blind woman walking along the streets. And then somehow a car starts racing by. The guy next to her almost gets run over, but she helps stop him
Mhm.
because she heard it.
Daredevil like.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But here's the kicker. The dude goes like, "Hey, I didn't see that coming." She said, "Me neither."
Oh no! No!
Oh my god! No! Don't start it like that. So that basically set the tone. So later on, they sandwich it with these narrations. And whatever goes on in the middle, not fucking scary at all. She does see supernatural beings, or like she can somehow, spoiler alert, I guess, see how people died. So that's what, terrorizes her and stuff.
Mhm.
But in the end, somehow, she helps save people because the visions she gets is like she sees an accident coming. So it's like when at the end of the movie, she's like, oh, this is what I'm seeing. It's going to explode. There's going to be a fire, blah, 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 blah. So basically the end is, that supernatural powers like save people. But she starts with the narration again at the end and being like, that is why.
I'm Spider-Man.
So basically, it's this like narration about like, yes, this ordeal happened, but I saved lives and I'm happy again. Blah blah blah.
I've never seen both movies,
Okay.
but I'm inclined to watch this one.
Okay. I don't like movies that rely on narration as a storytelling crutch.
Yeah.
Just
Yes.
on principle, right?
Especially horror. You don't do that. Like the fun is in the mystery.
But
right?
here's the cool thing, right? Because maybe the filmmakers are smarter than we thought, okay? Bear with me, right? The whole thing about horror and effective storytelling in cinema is show, don't tell. But she's a blind character.
Oh my god.
So everything has to be described to her. It's meta, Mai.
Boom! Mic drop.
To be fair, tama ka. Yung times sa may narration, hindi siya nakakakita. Because in the end, she loses her sight again.
Oh my god!
So like, you have a point there. But yeah, everything in between. It's like there's this kid haunting her saying like, have you seen my report card? Have you seen my report
That's the
card?
kid in the elevator.
Yeah, the kid in the elevator.
Oh my god.
And like she sees how he dies. He apparently like jumps off the building,
Mhm.
but she sees that kid once in a while again. That kind of horror stuff. It's so bad. It's so bad. I was cackling.
Oh,
So yeah, that's one.
it's okay if
suggestion.
she's gonna fail at at acting. She looks good.
Yeah,
doing
no
good.
doubt she looks good.
She still looks the same, by the way.
Yeah. And it's got this cheesy acting in between. Like there are moments where like her doctor doesn't believe her. He's just saying like, oh no, it's your eyes adjusting to, the world you haven't seen in a long time. He's being this cheesy asshole. And she's like, but I didn't see coming that you weren't an asshole.
Oh, my god, the lines.
The lines are so cheesy. Like, it's what ruins it, honestly. And
It's very true for movies of that era, like teen movies of that era.
yeah, but
horror movies of that era. Oh my god, our time in high school was full of those.
Yeah, that's why I remember this. Because I remember this is like around the height of, or parang pababa na si Jessica Alba in the height of her fame. Because she was famous in like the 2000s, early 2000s. So medyo 2008 na to. And it was,
Yeah.
And so people were still curious. People still wanted to see, Jessica Alba in movies. But then if you saw this...
You'd also wish you were blind.
No.
No, I think this is the course of the Hollywood remakes. That's why I stopped watching
The remakes.
the
and
remakes
stuff.
already.
Speaking of remakes, it's not just like the translation from Asian to Western. I have one. I have The Haunting from 1999. Which is a remake of The Haunting of Hill House, and this one stars on like Liam Neeson, Owen Wilson.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, and
Wow.
Wait, this is a really weird time in cinema. This is 1999, and for some reason, somebody thought it would be a good idea to let action directors make horror movies. So this one was directed by Jan de Bont, who was like, he directed Speed, he directed Twister, and
good movies.
he directed The Haunting. And oh my god, it's so bad.
The Haunting was bad.
It was really bad.
I did like how Owen Wilson died though. Swinging lion on a pendulum, and then it gets eaten. Not eaten, but it gets chopped off, and you just see the body like drop without the head.
So basically, these people are invited to a haunted house. They think they're taking part in a sleep study, but actually, they just want to see how these people deal with the fact that they're in a fucking haunted house.
Okay.
And yeah, shenanigans happen. But the whole thing is just so overproduced. Like
Yes.
all the scares are CGI based in 1999. Do you remember what CGI looked like in 1999?
Yes.
Like, oh my God.
Well, the question is, was it good for its time?
Still no.
No.
Because like the original version of this movie was, well, it's based on a book either way, but the original movie was directed by Robert Wise, who made The Sound of Music and West Side Story and Star Trek 1 for some reason. He built his whole, because they didn't have all these special effects, so they built it on a feeling of dread. I'm not even saying the original was a great movie, right?
Yeah.
But it was so much better than this in building a mood and a feel and an atmosphere of dread versus this one where it just telegraphs everything from a mile away.
There is no dread.
There is
all.
no dread
A lot of
whatsoever.
Flash, though.
Owen Wilson as himself is always fun, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow.
Oh my God.
Ghosts, wow.
Fire. Wow.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what
I mean,
Catherine
like,
Zeta-Jones did after that Zorro movie.
Oh,
From
she was
Zorro
so
to
hot
this.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the same with 13 Ghosts. That was
13 Ghosts.
It wasn't bad. It was a fun watch.
Yeah.
But it's not scary.
Mm-hmm.
Visually compelling, the design of the 13 Ghosts was pretty good. It just wasn't scary. It's kind of funny though. Like, they were in this massive house
Mm-hmm.
that was like this whole doomsday device kind of thing.
Yep.
Doomsday device / prison for ghosts.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Which
It's
was-
like Jigsaw's wet dream.
Yes. Yeah, well, yeah. Mixed in with a little bit of Pinhead. A little bit. But
Yep.
that movie was fun. It wasn't bad. It didn't have any of the cheesiness or the stupidity of The Haunting.
Mm. But
Wait, this had Matthew Lillard, right?
Yes.
yeah,
He
and
was-
he's good in anything.
Yes,
Yes.
I love Matthew Lillard.
And Monk.
And Monk, that's right.
He was the dad.
Who is actually getting a revival movie, by the way.
Monk?
Monk.
Oh.
They're making a movie.
It's interesting. I'm going to watch that.
It'll be on Hulu, I think, which means Disney Plus for us, third
Ah.
worlders.
Yes.
Mm.
That means we don't have to guess.
Another movie that is in theme with your Jaws 3D and in theme with my inexplicable late 90s action directors
What is
making
I am curious.
horror movies is Deep Blue Sea from
Oh!
That was
Isn't that- wait.
It's directed by Rennie Harlin, who did Die Hard 2, and he did
But, okay.
he did Cliffhanger.
The one thing I liked about this was that it wasn't a great white. It was a mako shark.
Wait, okay, here's the thing, okay? So Deep Blue Sea is these scientists, again,
Dude, bluest. My head is
in,
like shark
in,
skin.
an underwater facility, because that's always a good idea. They want to cure cancer. So they realize that they need shark brain tissue to make their medicine or something.
90 science.
So they start pumping
movies.
they make genetically modified sharks that are smarter.
Wow.
Well, in reference, that was LL Cool J. 'Cause
he was the chef.
He was the chef. He also did the title track for the movie.
But the best part of this thing is when Sam Jackson is giving this motivational speech about how they're gonna take a stand and how they're gonna fight these stupid sharks.
And then the shark jumps out of that pool and eats him.
Before he even finishes his speech, and it's the best part of the movie.
The fact that the chef survived was the best part of the movie.
Yeah, I know. He was the best character in that thing.
Yeah. Sorry, Saffron Burrows.
But same thing what we were saying earlier, with all the CGI and everything, which has not aged well at all, there is no feeling of dread, It's not like what Jaws, where Spielberg, had to deal with a shark that didn't work for over a year. So he had to shoot around the fucking thing.
I mean, because that forced his hand to be more creative, which
Right.
eventually worked out. So, you have an instant classic, a legend in the horror genre or creature features, what you call it what you may. Okay, so I want to point out like this one movie that was very predictable. I was kind of excited when when I watched it, and then only to realize it was just bad. Siguro when I was watching this, slasher movies have run its course and it was probably out of fashion because no one was doing the whole meta thing past Scream. So I watched House of Wax.
Hey, that was fun. I love the House of Wax for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons. For the wrong reasons.
Hey, that is Paris Hilton's second best acting job. The first being her persona.
That's
okay, I get it. I was gonna ask you
First
what was
being
the
her
first.
public persona. She is actually not a dumb airhead. She doesn't have this high voice.
No,
she
Nope,
doesn't.
she's actually hella smart.
She's hella smart.
That
So
was a marketing thing.
yes, so her second best acting job.
That's hot.
Yeah.
No, but yeah.
And I remember just like people just waiting for her to die. That just kept it fun.
Me
Yes.
included.
That was so
But
much
she had one of the
fun.
best deaths, though. You know, and cousin Skeeter was there, who played her boyfriend, who also died. You know,
And Chad Michael Murray,
Chad Michael
fresh
Murray.
from One Tree Hill.
Oh my God,
Yes.
Chad Michael Murray. What's he doing now?
being Chad Michael Murray, sucking
okay.
at basketball. He really-
Nathan was the better basketball brother.
Sure, guys.
It's true. In real life, it was really Nathan. I've never seen the original. I know it's a remake, but
Right.
then it's this knockoff of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like every freaking sequel
Mhm.
is just bad, or every remake is just a really bad product. I don't know why.
I think what carried it for me was that I knew the cast. I was just excited to see them all get killed off. But like
Yeah.
That's a good
But
reason.
in general horror movie standards, it's it's
It's
predictable. So
meh.
I think the popularity of the cast just basically carried it.
I have a question though. Is it because we've matured and we've
Wait, what? Say that again. Okay, say that again.
we've matured in taste? Your taste questionable, maybe. I don't know. Okay? Fine. Is it because we've become more discerning with what we watch because we have to spend our own money now, or is it just because I've noticed all our preferences for horror movies are more cerebral. Nothing of these campy jump scares. It's all about slow burns. It's all about what's not seen.
Well, back then I don't think we liked these movies either.
That's true. That's why we're making fun of them now.
Yeah, exactly.
Good point. Good point.
But I guess like maybe a lot of these we talk about how different they are from, let's say, established classics. Let's say Night of the Living Dead, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Jaws, or even Psycho if you want. These movies are all acknowledged classics, even if the ones that came after not so much. But I think a lot of that also is the fact that the ones that came after were forced to play with existing formulas versus the originals that had no competition when they came out. Like, if you watch Psycho now, it's not as shocking in our context as your average episode of, Law and Order SVU. Because a lot of the tropes, a lot of the scares that movie pioneered now are just second nature. You know them forwards and backwards. Like, when was the last time you watched a really scary Frankenstein movie or a mummy movie or a zombie movie?
True.
All of those movies had to be adapted into different genres for the 21st century. Shaun of the Dead made zombies a rom-com because we're not scared of zombies anymore. Zack Snyder made it an action movie, a heist movie, because we're not scared of zombies
That
anymore.
was a good Zack Snyder movie.
Warm Bodies though made it a love
They
story.
made it a rom-com, right?
It was so good.
In fact, The Walking Dead, the most evil characters there aren't even the zombies. It's
Yeah.
the people.
It's the people.
They're the scariest things on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Or The Mummy became like an Indiana Jones knockoff. What else? Vampire movies became Twilight. Oh, that's a dead end. But the point is, what scared generations before might not necessarily be scary now. And the way that they've twisted the formulas or tried to recreate the magic, they don't quite work. I think we need new things to scare us. That's why the Ari Aster films work, because those really are in your head.
Yeah. And maybe it's also why true crime is on the rise now, because it's scarier to just learn about,
Horrific people.
yes, like
In
actual
general?
people, and these are true stories. So that's why we have like Dahmer
Right.
and movies like that, or how many
Bundy?
Ted Bundy movies?
10 Bundys.
10 Bundys.
10
How many-
Bundy.
And Bundy.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that's why people are focusing more on like another horrific part of humanity instead of like all these tropes that have been done before.
I mean, like, let's see, like at the end of the last century. At the end of the last century.
You've lived through it.
I was there, but you had they did the Blair Witch Project, for example, which became a landmark in found footage horror, which has been done in Spain with Rec. It's been done with Paranormal Activity in the States, but at some point, after 4, 5, 6 Paranormal Activity movies, it's just not fresh anymore. In fact, if you look back at the original Blair Witch Project, it doesn't even feel as scary as it used to be because now we all know their actors. Back then, the internet was young and they were able to perpetuate this hoax that this really happened.
Like there was an air of mystery or a touch of reality
But now you're looking at actors, you're looking at setups. And I think the evolution of that kind of worked was that movie that we talked about before, Host.
Yeah, Host. I was about to mention it because it's new and it's something we all experienced during the pandemic.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
That's why
The
it was
Zoom call.
it was good. It
Right.
was fresh.
And it was something we could all relate to.
Yeah.
So
Fuck that shit. That shit was scary.
I think it is still possible to make good horror movies as long as people are willing to try something new and something different.
Yeah.
The old tropes don't work anymore, or if they do work, you're going to have to put them in a new context. Otherwise, you're just surfing up the same old thing. You're just microwaving leftovers.
Yeah. Sad.
That's So we've talked enough about remakes and stuff. Remakes and Hollywood bastardizing Asian movies. Can we talk about local cinema?
Lalayo pa ba tayo sa feng shui?
Iba talaga.
Wait.
Favorite ni Mai yan.
Okay, I acknowledge that it is iconic. It is something that a lot of us growing up didn't really find scary, but more hilarious.
Yes.
Because, well, not just because of Chris Aquino screaming, her signature screaming, but synopsis, just in case you haven't seen it. It's about a woman who gets a bagua. It's this Chinese
Spider
antique
web
mirror.
looking thing.
Yeah.
With a mirror in the center.
Yeah.
Don't ask me.
I'm
I'm just preempting it. I'm preempting
You're
it.
only Chinese when it's convenient.
That's true, which is when I eat.
right.
Yes.
And so, they always say, don't look into it, or it'll, give you bad luck. So what happens is that if you stare into this bagua, you're gonna die according to your Chinese zodiac sign.
Right.
And the kills are amazing.
The kills are incredible.
My favorite has to be the Year of the Horse kill.
Okay, can you describe it for some people who might not have seen it
Okay.
or have forgotten?
So, guy falls off a window.
Oh no.
That's not how he dies. He dies because he falls into a case of beer branded Red Horse.
Ah! Those are extra strong.
Red Horse, extra strong.
Shut tinamaan.
Yeah, in the back. So that's my favorite kill. But then it goes as obnoxious as the guy who was born in the year of the dragon gets killed by, I don't know, a guy with
a dude with a dragon tattoo.
Yeah, exactly. Or,
I was born in the year of the dragon.
Nice
how are
knowing
we,
you.
how are we gonna die if we do stare into this mystical bagua?
I try to avoid
Bagua.
trucks delivering pigs.
That was so funny. That was funny because we always see that on the road, on the highways.
Yep.
And when it did happen to that dude, it's like, oh shit.
It can happen.
Yeah.
Sayang yung bacon, dude.
I'm just probably gonna get bitten by a snake. That's it.
I really do drive away from pig trucks because of that movie.
So no matter how bad or quote or on the nose the movie is, it's still imprinted on you.
I had a good time with that.
Well,
I'm not
it's-
gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Well, it's bad in horror movie standards, but we just had such a good time trying to predict how each person is gonna die because you
yeah.
never saw the red horse thing coming, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah.
Or
They,
the
they,
dude with
they
the dragon
surely,
tattoo.
surely got creative.
Yeah.
They
I
did
think
get
what I
creative.
liked about it was that it owned its cheesiness.
Yeah.
So it knows that it's a preposterous concept, but it pinanindigan niya. It ran with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Final Destination where they get super
Yes.
creative with kills, but
Yes.
only with a feng shui Phil Chai spin on it.
I am
Yeah.
never driving behind a truck with logs either.
Oh yeah, that's a very Final
that's from
Destination.
Final Destination 2.
I thought that was 3. Okay, yeah.
That was 2.
Well, either way, there were a
Either
lot of
way.
fun
Oh
kills.
my god, that opening highway thing was insane.
Or it also got ridiculous when like a whole escalator caved in.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was bad. I was like, but that's scary because elevators have killed people, and I've seen a viral clip where an escalator just opens up and eats a guy.
What?
Yeah,
An
That's not from the
escalator
movie.
Killed a guy.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it can happen. Mechanical failures happen in real life.
So going back to feng shui, I think what made it like not good as a horror movie is that what people looked forward to was not like the main ghost, which was Lotus Feet. Remember this like little girl with like
I have
with
to
her,
watch this again.
with her like
That was
tiny
still kind
feet.
of creepy.
It was, well, you still know it's not like very ghostly. Think practical effects.
Right.
I remember how bad it was. Like they really had this doll-like person and like their feet on
Or-
this little like
right.
these
Tiny shoes.
tiny shoes. But I wasn't scared because I was just and I enjoyed so much all the kills in the first place. And when she did come out finally, it's like, okay,
Eh,
okay.
parang, oh, movie's done. That's it.
Yeah, so by then it's like, fun's
I
over.
don't know. Chris Aquino is a good scream queen. Her scream's iconic.
Yeah, it is.
Sukob.
I gotta
Sukob was
ask.
fun.
Sukob was good.
Sukob was good.
You know what I really want to watch? I want to see the sequel to Feng Shui because I heard
There's
it was
a-
not
there's a
as
sequel?
good. There is. It stars Coco Martin.
Starth. Coco
Star-
Martin.
Oh, my god.
Yes. So it's on my list. I'm totally gonna watch Feng Shui 2. Okay.
But
you just
I
had to
think
say it.
does it still involve a bagua though?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so
You cannot have feng shui without a bagua.
I guess, but that's not really how it works in real life. Like, what is the actual purpose of a bagua as a non-Chinese person? I would like to know. But was it scary for people who actually know this what it's for?
I don't know what the bagua is for. I saw you look at me.
You're half Chinese. I thought you
I
would
don't know.
know.
I know half the stuff, but not all of the stuff.
Well, sa bagay, half Chinese ka naman.
I don't know,
okay.
but sometimes I would go to my classmates' houses and it would be there. So
Eh.
I don't know if it's either a ward for evil spirits or for good
Or
luck.
good luck, diba?
I don't
Parang
know.
ganon.
One
So,
of those. It's usually one of those.
I would like to hear from real Chinese people. Looking at Ancho again.
Because I'm fake Chinese, apparently.
I would like to know
Gang,
if
please
this
help us.
if this had an effect on you guys because it's part of your culture. So this I would like to know.
Yes.
But for us who did not know, it was just plain hilarious because of the kills.
Misha can ask his fiance because, she's legit.
We're so gonna get our asses kicked for not knowing this.
Not you, maybe, but not me.
Not me.
Moving on.
Hi, dang.
Hi, dang.
Moving on. I have a love-hate relationship with local horror because as much fun as I had with Feng Shui, there are other films that aren't as enjoyable. Like,
Bahay
I-
ni Lola.
I was gonna say like 2/3 of the Shake Rat on a Roll movies.
I mean,
Uh,
the old ones were
Yeah, I
great.
think- yeah, I
I
think-
wouldn't say great.
I think it started off strong, but then it's one of those things that they just stretched it out for so long as a franchise that it just got funny for some
I
reason.
mean, I like the fact that it's an anthology series. You have
I like a
three
good
Mm,
anthology.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
shorts,
Yeah.
which is great.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so maybe throughout the course of it, aging, people aren't as scared as they used to be. So
I
they
don't know.
probably, I don't know, they started making funny movies instead of,
They're just so hit and miss, really.
yeah. Like, I'll never forget Undin. You know, like, that got me
to be
scared
fair,
of storm drains,
that also got I
shower
saw
drains.
commercials
So you
for
got
that.
scared of taking a shit for a while.
I saw
Yes.
commercials for that on ABS-CBN, and it was kind of scary back in the day.
I would beg my mom to accompany me in the bathroom as a child because of Undin.
Yeah, so that's when it was still good.
Yes.
How about that fridge at 8 people?
Oh my God. Yung Frigidaire.
Frigidaire. You're giving away our age when
Oh
you say
my God.
Frigidaire.
Which they rehashed later on with a Christmas tree that 8 people. I don't know. At some point, these became like MMFF Christmas time staples.
Yeah.
So I'm like, because that's exactly what you want to do on the birth of our Lord and Savior, right? Watch horror movies.
Watch bad
There
horror
are some
movies.
that are good in the modern,
But it's
more
very hit
modern-
and miss.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
there was this one with Empress Shock when she was an up and coming star of ABS-CBN, and
Okay.
and then they end up on the last train ride on the MRT,
Okay.
and then the last train ride, apparently whoever is in there become food for this monster, and it was just a chase. You know, it's just a survival thing for these passengers. It was fun.
That actually sounds kind of
interesting.
cool.
It's interesting. It's
That actually
interesting.
sounds
Even the
kinda
practical
cool.
effects for that
Mhm.
monster were pretty well made.
Interesting.
It's just
For-
it has that reputation kasi for you
Yeah,
know being
true.
bad. So you miss out on these once in a while gems that are in there.
I still watch it though.
Yeah, but
when
you
I
know,
can.
I'm not gonna pay for 1/3 of a good movie. You know,
Mm.
if it's only one segment
You-
that's good out of 3.
Think about it this way: you can either appreciate the movie because it's good, or make fun of it because it's bad.
Or you can
Oh.
talk about it in a podcast about why it didn't scare you.
Ding.
Ding.
Aha!
Idea.
Who thought about that?
I had no idea.
Yeah, but then there's this also. Like one of the older ones had this story about this vase that would eat people up.
So we got a fridge. We
No,
got a Christmas tree.
The vase, apparently they killed someone in the vase, and that spirit, vengeful spirit.
I saw that one.
Yeah, we had an old vase in our old house.
Same.
Yeah,
Same.
would not go near that vase.
Well, I always had pictures with that vase for some reason.
I never
Like
had.
for some reason, my mom would always post me next to this very specific vase in our house.
Okay, what did your vase look like? Because my vase looked a lot like the vase in the movie.
Hindi naman masyado, pero it's still
there
a,
you go.
it's still a very curious vase.
Mine was a tall
Tall,
vase.
yeah, it was a tall vase.
Deep and dark.
Mm-hmm.
Very scary.
Did it
could
call
put
to
in
you at night?
I would not go near that vase,
Fuck.
even in daylight, because of
Fucking A.
shake, rattle, and roll. So yeah, you're right. Hit or miss. Because
Hit
I
or
still have these
miss.
traumatic things about those movies. Undin. Like that's why as a child I was constipated.
Oh, TMI.
Yeah.
No shit.
What a crappy childhood.
Yeah.
Sorry to dump on you, but
I mean, like as a kid, you watch anything, you eat all that shit up.
yeah. Oh my god, no, that's terrible. The thing about like the shake, rattle, and roll movies is maybe also it's a function what Anjo said earlier about our own ages, our own experiences. Because for all we know, really, bear with me. Like for all we know, they may not be to our liking. They may not be to our taste now because we are so familiar with what came before. But for somebody who's going into that theater for the first time to see Shake, Rattle, and Roll 27.
Ilan na ba siya?
27. I know they're past 10.
That might be like a foundational experience for them.
Mhm.
I mean, like-
because they don't have the baggage that we bring into it. The part of the reason that we find these things funny.
Millennial angst.
No, I mean, a lot of the reason that we find these things funny is because we keep referring to older, better, quote unquote, movies. But for somebody going in with fresh eyes, maybe
more innocent. more innocent
Jessica
mindset.
Alba's The Eye is like the scariest thing they've ever seen.
No.
I doubt it.
No.
I mean, scary
I
because
tried.
In the age of Ari Aster movies and Blumhouse,
That's
in
true.
recent,
That's
you know,
true.
And A24.
A24. I don't think
The
so.
Witch was fantastic. Oh my God. M. Night Shyamalan movies.
That is the definition of hit and miss.
The Village.
Fuck that.
The Village was just so fucking stupid.
How about The Happening, where Mark Wahlberg outruns the wind?
Oh my God. Yes. Oh shit. I can't believe we forgot to talk about M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Oh my god.
Well, here we are.
Sixth Sense was amazing.
good.
I like The
Fucking
Sixth Sense.
amazing.
The Sixth Sense is a great movie.
And then he does movies like
And then Signs, you're like, okay, kind of
Signs
still
is
okay.
not bad.
Still okay.
Not bad. And then you have The Happening. Half the time I was just laughing at Mark Wahlberg.
I mean,
It's like
Mark Wahlberg.
we gotta get away.
Why do people keep casting Mark Wahlberg as a smart guy?
I don't
He
know.
was a teacher in that movie. He was a scientist in Transformers.
Was he a scientist in Transformers?
He was an inventor.
That doesn't make
That's
make
the-
him a scientist.
That is the least
Fine.
believable casting ever.
Tommy Pickles' dad, Stu Pickles, is an inventor. What?
Fuck.
Doesn't make him a genius.
Fine. But yeah, I mean,
The Happening in the Village. Oh my god.
I mean, the village was so dumb. They ended up being in this Amish community. Like, what the-
fake Amish. Apparently,
Fake.
that no planes ever flew over.
So they
ever.
got Truman.
Yes, they did. They did
They
get
got
Truman
Truman.
showed. Jesus Christ, that movie was so
Like,
bad.
Shyamalan was so- Oh, speaking of weird ass villages,
Hmm?
I mean, like, it just reminded me of. I mean, you mentioned Ari Aster, and then I just mentioned The Village. I remembered Midsommar.
Mhm.
Thinking
That was
about-
good though.
That was good, but thinking about Midsommar, it made me think about The Wicker Man.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing. I like the original Wicker Man with Christopher
I've never
Lee
seen. I didn't even know that was the original. There was an
versus
original.
the remake with Nicolas Cage and his bees.
The Beast! Ah,
So-
the Beast!
You know it's a bad horror movie when it turns into a meme.
Yeah,
That's true.
that's
But
horrible.
that's okay. I know I'm gonna get crucified for this, but Midsommar for me was just okay. I respect it more than I like it because again,
loved it.
I went into it with baggage.
It's my dream.
because I've seen The Wicker Man, so I'm like, it's another village of cult
so this
people.
is the perfect example of the experience being different because of what you're carrying into the movie.
Kinda right. It's like when people complain about how new music, they don't enjoy it as much as they do stuff they grew up with. Maybe because like that spot in your brain's already been filled.
Or wired
Yeah.
to register certain things
So
a certain way.
that's your landmark. That's your milestone. But you can't expect somebody who was born 10, 20, or even 2 years later to have that same reference
That
point.
is very valid.
Hmm.
That's
So I
that's a
can't
valid
hate
point.
on the new stuff as much as
The Eye.
it's very easy
Jaws 3D.
to hate the eye, but again, like I said, somewhere out there, somebody probably saw that, and maybe it's their favorite movie, and I can't hate on them for that.
Yeah, I mean,
I feel a little bad for them, but it's not their fault.
I know it's an objective thing. So okay, but at least for us, at least we got a laugh out of them.
That is
Yeah.
true.
Like one cinematic experience should not be the same for another. One cinematic experience should not be the
That's
same for
true.
another.
Yeah, and it's not always like the filmmakers intended to be. Like maybe sometimes they intended to be a horror, but in your experience or your taste or your knowledge of the genre, you might find it funny. Some
Yeah.
people might find it scary, but
I mean, like
I saw Cats with you. What the shit?
that was horrific.
like I don't know, like sequels for horror is not great.
Hmm.
Like rehashed horror movies aren't great. Like how many Exorcist movies
Oh my
have we
god!
had?
I just saw The Exorcist Believer. It's so bad, and
If you've seen one Exorcist or demon possession movie, you're good.
kinda, yeah. Because
Yeah.
the original, again, this is I don't know if this is baggage so much as the first Exorcist just really did it so well that everything that came after looks like parody.
That's true.
Like I just saw the Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe, and
I saw that on one of the streaming platforms,
what
and
the
I'm like,
hell?
Why would you watch
do
it?
I? Do I? I didn't.
So yeah, film is subjective. We get that. It's just there is a fine line between what's good because it's trying to do something new and different versus something that's just trying to do something that you've seen a million times before. But at the end of the day, every horror movie is going to be somebody's first. So we can't begrudge them that. So I think maybe something that'll be fun to ask people in the comments is, what's a horror movie that scared the shit out of you that everybody else just seems to laugh at?
Interesting. Okay, we'll leave that to the comments. So
That's a very hard question to answer.
I know, so we'll leave it at that. But those are some of the horror movies, for at least our opinions, were actually more hilarious than scary.
What scared me? People
What?
find funny though.
While Anjo ponders on that, thank you so much for listening to our episode of Sub-Auteurs. You can find us on Instagram. He still has that look. What the
He's possessed.
I'm sorry. It's just like
We are on socials at on TikTok at Sub-Auteurs Podcast, Instagram as well. And you can find us on Facebook, Sub-Auteurs We Like Movies, and our Facebook group. Join us. We have those conversations there, and we'll probably post updates on movies, stupid memes, and all that. And maybe questions. Let us know what you want to hear next. What was that? Was that you?
yeah, that's stupid.
Were you beatboxing?
No, it's supposed to be a heartbeat. But then it's like,
Why?
Another example of something intended to be scary.
I
but turned out-
know. Except now we're just laughing at him, not with him.
we're in theme, guys.
See?
Okay, happy Halloween,
And we're just being
guys.
subjective. We're not assholes.
Sometimes.
Okay. That's it for us. I'm Mai.
I'm Misha.
I'm Anjo.
And happy Halloween. Enjoy these stupid, scary movies.